So $1 million in San Diego does not get you exactly what you used to get. Obviously, over the past, definitely over the past few years, but more or less over the past decade or so, prices have continued to rise here in San Diego. And if you're growing up in the 80s and 90s like me, that $1 million house that you had in your head is not necessarily the same house you're going to get today. So, the days of $1 million listing in New York and LA, when that show first came out, yes, those were luxury properties. Now in San Diego, to get that top tier kind of luxury property, depending on where you are, if you're coastal, you're probably looking about that $3 million mark. If you're a little bit more inland, you're probably about $1.5 to $2 million mark. So it really depends on where you live. But there is still some great properties in San Diego for under $1 million. So here's the San Diego home value chart. You can see way back in 2000, the home value in San Diego is about $225,000. We peaked in 2005, 2006. We had the great housing recession, drop down, and then it's been on a steady climb ever since about 2013. This is when we had super low interest rates, and that in turn caused price to continue to go. We saw a much bigger jump right here in the past 2 years. And then right now we're probably sitting right around the same mark. It's kind of flattened out in the 2023 mark. But right here, sitting in June of 2022, it was still about $905,000. And just not long ago, I ran all the numbers for San Diego, how many homes are for sale, how many under $1 million, and how many of those are single family homes. So right now, there are 2,768 homes on the market throughout all of San Diego County. That's including coastal, inland, even going into the desert regions. And of those, 1,209, or about 44%, are within or underneath that $1 million mark. So that's including condos, townhomes, and single family detached homes. And if we break it down a little bit more, of all those homes, there are 649 active homes under $1 million right now. So about 23% of all the homes on the market are under that $1 million mark. Now, all of them are not move-in ready. All of them are not necessarily kind of homes you would want to purchase yourself. But I'm going to bring up 4 different homes, 2 condos / townhomes, and 2 single family homes that are move-in ready, that are dialed in and set, that have sold since July 1st. So it's the most up to date. You could see what houses are actually out there for $1 million that are actually move-in ready and still under that $1 million mark. And here's a quick little breakdown of the homes that are under $1 million. This is, like I said, condos, townhomes, and single family. You can see kind of where they're clustered. You do have this central area right here around Vista, Oceanside, Carlsbad. You do have a lot in this southern section. So kind of around the city, downtown area, going out along the 8 corridor, and then down in that Chula Vista area. You can see as we get closer, it'll spread it out a little bit just to show you kind of the layout of where all these homes are for sale. So even though there are some outliers out here, out in Mount Laguna and kind of the outskirts of San Diego County, you can see there are still some within the inland and the coastal neighborhoods that a lot of people who are looking to move are looking at a lot in this Valley Center area. And then as you go in a little bit further, it'll break it down to show you kind of all these homes out here. Like I said, not all of them are move-in ready and ready to rock and roll. That's what I'm going to show you a few of them. And just as a quick reminder, I'm Chris Erickson with the Beach Life Group right here in San Diego. If you guys are thinking about making a move, you can reach out. All that information is in the description right below. Feel free on your own time, book your own discovery call. We got your back when making the move here in San Diego. Let's jump into those properties. So the first townhome here is located in Carlsbad, 92010. So that Calavera Hills type area. You can see 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, just over 1,400 square feet. HOAs are looking about $300 per month. You're in that townhome style. So a lot of people ask, what's the difference between a townhome and a condo? Basically, a condo is just how it's going to appear in the tax rolls. Townhouse is more of a description. That's what the agents who are inputting this into the MLS are putting in there. It's one of our options. So you will see it as townhome. I think traditionally think of a condo, even though, like I said, this is a condo as well. But I like to think of condos as kind of those apartment style condos where you have a first floor unit, you have a second floor unit, and maybe even potentially a third floor unit, where townhomes are more or less not stacked, where you share a wall, but it's not your ceiling that you are sharing. So I think townhomes, if you are looking in that zone, are a lot more desirable, especially for resale, because you don't have anybody trampling above you or below you. But this one was originally listed for $879. It was on the market for 8 days here. And let me just show you where it is in Carlsbad. So good location, Calavera Hills, right up here. You will find detached homes up there, but that is not in the $1 million mark. You do have Calavera Park here, and then a quick shot down to Carlsbad Village. You can see what you're going to get with that. You have, and a lot of these townhomes are going to have some sort of little backyard. This one has a more of a patio style backyard. You can see it is move-in ready. They've had the updated kitchen, the nice stainless steel appliances. Bathrooms are somewhat original, but flooring's looking good. You do have, in with those HOAs, a lot of them have pools and spas like you can see here. And the year built was 2005. So there are still options sub $1 million in these coastal neighborhoods. Now hopping into another condo a little bit further inland, kind of in that 4S Ranch area, sold for $900,000 just in the middle of July. The only difference between this one and the other one, this one has a little more square footage, a little more living area, but also one less bedroom. So 2-bedroom is a good starting place if you are looking for your first home. Obviously, when you do go to resale, the buyer pool is going to be a little bit less, because a lot of people, when they do start their search, that minimum number is going to be a 3-bed, 2-bath. So just something to think of when you are getting into these places. This one did take a little bit longer to sell. It took 25 days. HOAs a little bit lower, $235 per month, and it is listed as a condo. Like I mentioned, townhome condo depends on how the agent put it in here, but this one does share 2 walls, but you don't have anybody above or below. Hopping into the map, you can see location-wise, you do have the shopping center right here. You do have your Target right up the road as well, right down that way. So you're a little bit further from the coast. Obviously, there's no direct route to shoot down there, so you're going to have to cut through Fairbanks, or usually maybe Solana Beach, or go down the 15 and then shoot down through Carmel Valley to Del Mar or something if you are going that way. But that's kind of usually how it works. The further inland you go here, the more affordable it will be when you are searching for homes. And this one as well, you got that patio style yard. You do have some stairs going up to the front of your house, but it is move-in ready. So you can get in there, maybe if you want to change the paint color, you want to change the flooring, all that stuff, although it is an expense, is relatively easy to do. So if you're looking at houses and those are the only 2 things that are holding you up, is flooring and paint, think it through, maybe even chat with a flooring, a painter, something like that, get an estimate so you can see what it would cost. 2-car garage, which is always a bonus. And then you do have that outdoor area. We have a little barbecue area and a little tot lot. And so here's everything that has sold for under $1 million since July 1st. But you can see as you zoom in, there are some deserts in here. Obviously, like Encinitas, there's only a handful. Del Mar, Solana Beach, Rancho Santa Fe. You're not going to find much in that area for that price point. You can kind of see where the cutoff line is, just right into Carlsbad, going kind of following that 78 corridor, going into Escondido. You got some San Marcos in there as well. Now let's look at a detached property. This one is in the Rancho del Oro area of Oceanside. You're looking at $988,000, just closed in middle of July. 3-bedroom, 3-bath, just shy of 1,900 square foot. 1 day on the market. So you can see there was some competition on this property. It was originally listed at $899,999. So it went just over $88,000 over its original list price. Little small HOA in that area of $125. You can see it is a single family home, and the lot size is just about 7,000 square feet. So it is not that bigger lot that you're going to find, but the difference between a condo / townhome and a single family home is that you do own the land as well. And in a condo or a townhome, you own a shared interest in the area that you are living, but you do not really own the land under your feet. So right in central Oceanside, Oceanside's huge. If you've ever been up there, goes all the way down here. South O stretches out, goes along. The Vista line's right in here somewhere, and it goes way out this way, all the way up to Arrowhead. So Oceanside is a big plot of land. And if you haven't been to downtown Oceanside in a while, go check it out, because they have a lot going on down there. New spots, restaurants, shops, all that kind of stuff opening up. A lot of infrastructure and a lot of rebuilding going into downtown Oceanside. But this is about a little further back. You're probably about 15 minutes from the ocean. plus I would say from the beach, but you still have to park, you still have to get there. So it's going to take a little bit longer than that. And you can see it's going to be move-in ready home as well. It has been updated since it was original in, I believe it was 1990, upgraded bathrooms and then your yard here. So with detached homes, obviously you're going to get a little bit bigger yard. That 7,000 square foot lot is pretty typical for this area. You will find some a little bit bigger, but for the most part, well, these are big enough for, you can see a whole patio. You got your little swath of grass as well, your little awning in there too. And a lot of these detached homes as well, they have solar. So solar could either be leased or owned. Important to find out, because if it's leased, it will go on your monthly payment, or it will be an additional monthly payment. If it's owned, then you are saving some cash on your electricity. Leased as well, but you do have that monthly bill. This last property sold for right at that $1 million mark, 3-bed, 2-bath, pretty small, 1,275 square feet. It was on the market for 34 days. It was actually listed for a little bit more. It had a few price changes, but it was listed for the last price about $30,000 or about $29,000 over that $1 million price point. So it did sell a little bit under. I believe it was a flip because it also sold earlier in the year. House is in 1975, and you can see a little bit smaller lot than the previous one, 0.13 or 5662 square foot. And here you are right at the kind of the northern edge of Mira Mesa. You have the whole shopping center all over here, but then you have a bunch of good food and stuff spread out. You do have the preserve right up to the north where you do have all the trails and stuff. And you can see you're kind of right in central San Diego. And this one is dialed in. So new cabinets, new countertops, new sink, new appliances, it looks like, new flooring, new doors, new paint, new fixtures, new bathrooms. It's just kind of new everywhere. Looks like some new sod out back. And it is right at that $1 million mark. You can see they painted it. It's looking good. It's ready to move in. And so while that $1 million price mark is not what it used to be, it is still doable to get a house, detached home in San Diego for under $1 million. If you guys have other questions, just drop us a line right below. Drop us a comment. We'll get back to you there, or hit us up in the first description down below. We got your back when making the move here in San Diego.